What's going on, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. As you can see, got wonderful Chicago behind me. I figured I saw a few people asking. A friend of mine was actually wondering how to hand land a drone. So right now I got my Mini 2 in this case. I am gonna get it out and we're gonna talk about how to hand land a drone. Pretty simple, right? Not a big deal if you've done it before, but for those who haven't, they probably have a few questions and probably just don't know. And there's nothing to be afraid of, and I'm going to show you exactly what we need to do to hand land a drone safely. So let's get to it. So right now I have the gloves, which are annoying. It's cold out already here. I got little cover that I made. I got the Mini 2, the little orange props. This guy rocks. Way nicer than the Mini 1. The OcuSync 2.0 is a huge leap in regards to performance with this guy. So the OcuSync 2.0 with this drone is hands down, in my opinion, the biggest upgrade. The 4K, of course, is killer, but OcuSync 2.0 with this controller that you're using with the Mavic Air 2, if you have one, is awesome. This is actually my Mavic Air 2 controller. I just carry one controller around and I sync it up to each drone. I actually haven't even touched my Mini 2 controller that's like this. It's still in the case. So we're gonna go ahead and take off the gimbal cover. This right here. We're gonna press up, pop that guy off, throw that back in the case. We got the Mini 2, so we're gonna depress this little guy, the button on the bottom. We're gonna do one quick press and then a long hold. So boom, boom. You'll hear it start up. And so you guys are aware, when you do this, you wanna have the drone level because you want it to calibrate the gimbal when it's level. So you wanna make sure that this is level, ideally on a flat surface. I'm gonna set this guy down. And I have an iPhone 12 Pro Max. One of the biggest things I've been griping about is the camera at night, but the best thing, hands down, about this phone is the real estate for flying drones. Second to that would be the battery life. So I'm gonna take this guy, and this is the, again, Mini 2 controller. This actually is the Mavic Air 2 controller, but I'm using it for the Mini. Same exact controller, minus the LED color and a couple little things. But, whoop, gloves fell. So as you see, it's kind of getting a little windy by the lake, and my gloves are flying all over. Where did it go? Hold on one second. So what we're gonna do is take the controller. We're gonna take our cord out. This is a USB-C to Lightning because I have an iPhone. We're gonna take this, kind of just push it up, and mind you, I got a case on my iPhone 12 Pro Max, so it could handle with a smaller case, and the iPhone 12 Max, which is a 6.7-inch display. We're gonna plug this guy in. We're gonna hit once and long, like one short and then one long. Turn on the remote, and I really don't need a screen record, but I will, just in case I need it. And now we're in the app. So it wants me to calibrate. So a lot of times when you're flying drones, it's gonna want you to calibrate the compass. So we're gonna go ahead and hit calibrate. Ideally, we don't wanna be by a car like this, but I'm gonna see if it will work. So I'm gonna take the drone, and as we all know, we do this stupid kind of dance. So I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this thing. Do, 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 do. And then I'm gonna turn it up. And calibration failed. So I'm gonna walk a little further away, see if I'm out of camera, and I'm gonna do that same drone dance. So do. And voila, calibration successful. I'm dizzy. And you can also, just so you guys are aware, you can rotate it like this if you want. So there's two ways of doing that, but a lot of times spinning is just kind of more fun. So essentially, we're gonna show you how to hand launch. So as you see, I essentially have my fingers as so. I have my thumb right here. Can you see? And then I got two fingers here. I'm making sure they're clear from the props. These props are pretty weak, but still, if you're flying a bigger drone, you just wanna get in the habit of making sure they're clear. So kind of hold it on the lower bottom half of the drone. And essentially all I'm gonna do is hold in on my sticks right now, press in.
Take off.
The motors and the props started. And I'm just going to give it a little altitude, a little push up on the left stick. And that's it.
Please check it out.
So there we go. We have the drone, a little windy out. I'm going to cruise for a second. Let's take a look and see what we can come up with. It's actually a pretty day out. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, not bad. So let's cruise for a second, just for fun. So I'm going to cruise the Mini 2, go over this tree. Got visual line of sight. I'm just kind of going quick. There's nothing I really want right now. I want to turn around, so I'm going to stop recording, rotate this thing around, get some altitude. And say for right now, for example's sake, we'll take a picture, bring the shutter down, pay attention to the histogram, maybe right here, shooting so you guys are aware. Now with the Mini 2, we can shoot JPEG and RAW, and we can also change the ratio, which is kind of cool. So I can change the image ratio, and I'm going to leave it back at 4/3, and I'm going to take a picture. And then for the sake of the video, we're trying to hand land it. And one other little bonus thing, if you want to know, take the gimbal and lower it straight down. And this is a way to know exactly where you are. From basically, like, let me see where I'm at. Let's scan, because this is an important part of flying. You want to know where you are so you can quickly get back to your home point anytime you want. Because sometimes maybe you just want to hightail back because you're really low on battery or something. So that's where I am right here, this car. And see this crosshair? I have this pinpointed so I can see, but a lot of times if I'm flying, it looks like I'm closer than I am. So if I put the gimbal all the way down and pay attention to the distance, I can see that I'm going less. It's going from 260, blah, 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 and it's going down. So I know I'm getting closer to me, obviously. And you could literally pinpoint exactly where I'm at. Whoop, with the gimbal straight down, mind you. So let me back up a little bit. And we're going to hand land this guy. But you see what happens? I can kind of set the crosshair right on me and just lower down on the stick now. So I'm just lowering down on the stick, knowing that this thing is going to be right above me, essentially, which it is. So here we go. And we're going to show you how to hand land this thing. And it's cold. My hands are freezing. So essentially, I like personally to back the drone into me. So I'm going to stick the butt towards me. And I like just pushing back on the stick. So let's get this thing over in front of the camera. So you see the drone. It's here. Let me point the camera up. And there's nothing to be worried about. Essentially what you do is just stick out your hand and you're going to let it detect to your hand. I'm pushing down on the stick and you grab it. So let's try that one more time. It's a little tricky to do because you're not watching, you're trying to, so I'm going to take off really quickly. And again, I'm going to stick my hand out essentially, push down on the left stick and hold it down. So I'm holding down the stick and it's going to gently come right in my hand, then you grab it. So you can actually grab it while it's still spinning and kind of intercept it almost, but at the same time, one more time, boom. And this is great for like a beach area if you don't want to get sand or you don't want to be getting near the water or if it's windy, you just have more control of it. So again, I'm putting my hand out and I could actually go and grab it a little bit. So I'm going to just let it detect essentially an object, which is my hand. So it's going to detect that there's something there and it's going to start to lower and land and you just grab it and just make sure you're pinching it on the bottom half of the drone, and all is good. And again, same thing, one more time, just to show you how simple it is. Boom, up on the stick
Has been updated.
for taking off, and then down on the stick. And I'm gonna walk you through one more time. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, let's get it over here. So essentially you see, holding down on the stick, still holding down, and then I'll grab it. I'm not gonna let it land like on my hand, I'm actually gonna grab the drone. So that's essentially it, guys. Pretty simple. Mini 2, hand launch, hand land, super easy, breezy, and cool little drone. So rock this guy out, hand land, hand launch. I always feel I have more control than taking off on the ground. So that's me. I never actually take off from the ground and I never land on the ground, but everyone has their preference. And that's it. Aloha, guys. Subscribe if you found this helpful. Hit the like button, and thank you. Peace. Got a pretty epic Chicago edit coming up too that's going to drop. So working on that edit. It should be done in a week. So that's it, guys. Thanks. Bye.